Hey everyone, welcome to Meeple Bits. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm going to go through the game Caper, originally released in 2018, designed by Unai Rubio, published by Keymaster Games for 2 to 4 players with a playtime of 30 to 45 minutes. I pause on the 2 to 4 players because, interestingly enough, the box actually just says 2 players, but it has an asterisk on it. So there is a 3 and 4 player variant, but today we're just going to treat it and cover it as what I thought it was, which is a 2-player game. So stay tuned and we'll go through the setup and playthrough of this little strategic card game, Caper. Hey everyone, welcome to a 2-player setup of the game Caper. Now, before we begin with the rest of the setup, there's one key thing that I need to note, which you'll want to do before getting started. So, in the set of cards, for each of the gear cards, thief cards, and location cards, there we go. So you're going to want to go into each of these and select a location. And a location can be selected by the icons in the lower left-hand corner. So you've got Paris, you've got London, and you've got Rome. So what you want to do before beginning is choose which location you want to include into the decks, into all the decks. So go through them, select which ones you want to do, and then shuffle them in and get started. So for this demonstration, we're going to shuffle in Paris. Paris is listed as the easy mode, with London being 2-star and Rome being 3-star in its difficulty, or I guess added complexity. So we're going to go through and we're going to pick out of each of these decks all of the Paris icons and shuffle them in. Now, once you've shuffled in the location of choice, you're going to take the locations deck and then reveal the 3 locations that are going to be played during this game. Once you've selected 3 locations, return the remaining locations to the box. They won't be used for the rest of the game. Next, there are 2 player reference cards in the box, both indicated here with the 2-player quick reference guide up top. So give it a quick shuffle and then hand it out to each person. Have them flip it because it will make a difference during the game. As you'll notice, the top of this one is sort of a white cream silver color. This one is a teal green color. And then you'll notice here on the round tracker on the right side of the board, let me give you a closer look, this round tracker indicates who goes first in that round. So in round 1, the person who received the player reference card of this color would go first. Round 2 then would be the other person. Round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6. So the game is played over 6 rounds. Here's the round marker, placing it like so. So during this demo, I'm not going to go into all the different icons and the different things that are on each of the cards, but there is a really good reference book here that will detail basically all the different thieves, all the different gear types, and all the different location types. So you'll be able to quickly reference and see what each of these things mean. So keep that on hand during play. The game is played over the course of the 6 rounds that you'll then draw in order. First, thieves, gear, thieves, gear, thieves, gear. And then you're going to play them. The player boards, or these kind of location boards, are dual-sided. On this pink side, they do have sort of some reference to indicate during the game. The max thief, the thief max, 3 pieces of gear, meaning any thief at a location may only have 3 pieces of gear on it at a time. Each location may only have 3 thieves max on your side. Not total, but per side. So I can only put 3 thieves here, and they can also put 3 thieves in that location. So it's not like if I put 2, they can only put 1. And then you gain a bonus when a thief has all 3 gear on them. So these are all different bonus modifiers for endgame scoring. Endgame scoring is the person who gets the most sort of victory points. I'm going to pull up this location card. So this little icon right there, this victory point, the person with the most victory points is declared the winner. This is what a location card would look like. So at this location, the chapel, it's worth 5 victory points to whoever wins this location. Then you get an additional victory point for each of the, so there's a little icon here with a pin drop for each of the thieves you have at this location. Okay, so we're basically ready to dive in. This is the initial setup of the game, and then really from there, it's about what sort of thieves you can recruit. So here's the banker thief. He will gain 1 additional victory point for every yellow card that's at this location. A yellow card is indicated like so. There we go. So these are these are the gear cards. They come in yellow, green, or teal, I guess, purple, and red. Each of these cards focus on something different. Yellow focuses on getting money. Teal focuses on different art or loot. Purple focuses on additional caper icons so that you can be the most thief at a location, because how do you win a location is by having the most caper icons. And then red is about kind of attacking the other thief. So this icon indicates that you would flip the card of another person's gear at that location. And that's the initial setup and what it looks like. So let's go ahead and dive in. Take at least 2 rounds of turns so that you can get an idea of what happens. So, as indicated here on the player marker, the beige player will go first. And it's a thief round. So we're going to draw up 4 thief cards. In the next round, we're going to draw up 6 gear cards. In the next round, it's going to be 3 thieves, 6 gear, 2 thief, 6 gear. In that order. So let's draw up 4 and 3, 4. So each player is going to receive 4 thief cards. They're going to select the thief that they want to keep, and they're going to play it at a location. So let's say they put it here. Then the next player, they're going to pick a thief, put it at a location, and then they're going to swap hands, like so. So this becomes their hand, this becomes that player's hand. And they're going to do the same thing once again. Placing a thief, swapping hands one more time, placing a thief, let me go ahead and put him here. And then the final card, you would discard off to the side. And that's round 1, the end. So right now, so far, this player is sort of winning this location, but they haven't yet met the requirements of really winning it because they have no caper icons here. This player will get caper icons for different bonuses in the location, so on and so forth. Move the round marker down. And then, sorry, you can also, now in the gear round, you can discard a card. If you don't want to draft it out here, you can discard it for 1 coin. Okay, so we're going to draw up 6 gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I'm not alternating it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but just for demonstration purposes. Okay, now in this round, there we go. Player 2 is going to go first. So I'm going to look at my different type of gear. And let's say I want to do this one, and I'm going to put it on my person like so. They're going to do the same. So they're going to grab and then I'm going to collect 2 coin from the supply. There we go. 2 coin. They're going to do the same, but they're going to do this one on this person. There we go. And they're going to collect 1 coin. Then, as always, swap hands, like so. This becomes the next person's hand to kind of shuffle through. And they're going to put some loot on this person, like so. And they're going to grab this one, and you know what? They're going to put some loot on this guy right here. Swapping the hands again until you're down to, once again, 1 card. Sorry, and actually, I should have really paid attention to what I was doing, but in the upper left-hand corner of these gear cards is a value. So this card, for example, will cost 2 coins to play. So I would have to pay my 2 coins back to the supply. This one would take 2 coins, so they wouldn't be able to play that one. So they would have to play a different card or discard one. But just for demonstration, you guys kind of get the idea. So max, again, 3 items on a player's hand. Let me bring this back just a little bit. There we go. And then discard the final card. So we'll do that one as a discard, and then item. And that's it. Then you're going to move into the next round, draw up 3 thieves per player, and then rinse and repeat. And that's it, guys. The game is very straightforward in terms of how it gets played, but there's a lot of complexities going on, and so that's why I want to refer you to the gear manual, so that if you have any questions about what the different icons mean, all of them are listed inside this book so that you can reference. Example, this location of the chapel. Let me go ahead and find that one for you guys. The chapel right here. Receives 5 victory points, or receives 5 points, and then you receive 1 point for each of your thief cards at this location. Modifier. Thief cards cannot be flipped here. So if I were to play sort of a red attack card, I could not flip another person's card while at the chapel. So make sure you keep this on hand while playing through this game properly so that you can always refer back. So anyway, guys, stay tuned just for a moment for my afterthoughts. Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that setup and playthrough of the game Caper. So let's get started and dive right in here. Addressing components to begin with, like I normally do, they're okay. Yeah, the neat little player boards to house the locations are all right. Not even that necessary, to be fair, because it's mostly just a card game. So you could truly just have the card locations out there, and in a 2-player game, you know, you're both on opposite sides and you're setting up your thieves at the location. So the player boards are not really necessary, but a neat little addition. Otherwise, the cards are, you know, pretty well made. Good stock. The artwork is really neat. It definitely fits kind of with the breadth of the game. You know, no problems in that regard. Everything kind of packs pretty neatly into this little box. It could be a little bit better, to be honest. It came with a whole lot of baggies, which was a little strange at first, but it allowed me to kind of separate out the cards a little bit so that I have a semblance of organization. But once you get those baggies in there, then you got to kind of wrap them and fold them around the cards. It's a little awkward inside the box. So it's a little game. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. You know, it's passable at best. The game itself, though, you know, it was really neat. I definitely enjoyed playing it when we did. But so let me address the why you should add this to your collection first. if you want a 2-player game that I guess has a 4-player variant, which I didn't try, I didn't get into, so I can't really speak much to it. But if you're looking for a quick 2-player game that has a little bit of depth and strategy to kind of where you're planning out what you're looking to accomplish, the kind of back and forth sort of card drafting mechanic is pretty neat. So you got to think about, do I really want my opponent to get this card, or should I take it and discard it and almost hurt myself a little bit? So if you like 2-player games that have a little bit of strategy involved, that only have a little bit of sort of take that mechanics. Yeah, there's the red weapon cards in there, but in all the times that I played the game, we mostly discarded those. They just, I don't know, at the time of their use, it never really came up to be a powerful card to use over me trying to take the location that I was getting at. Why should you not add this to your collection? Well, to be fair, the iconography, after as many times as we've played it, which is about a handful or so, it still is a little confusing. I didn't really like it. It's not intuitive. There's been a lot of games that I've played where the iconography is really just on point. You can look at it, read it kind of, left to right or whatever, and know exactly what you're supposed to do. This one, I don't know. I found myself in every game constantly going back to the reference book so that I could read through either, the icon on a gear card or on a thief or a location. So it wasn't intuitive in that regard, at least for my group that I've played it with. But that's probably a reason not to add to your collection, is because as simple of a game as it is, and it plays really quickly. Our first time through, we definitely got through it in the minimum amount of time needed. So that was really good. But at every turn, we had to kind of pause, like, oh, what's this mean? What am I doing here? Is this really part of my strategy? So constantly referencing that book really took a little bit away from how you're trying to sort of strategize and think about your turn when you're too busy thinking about the iconography. So those are my thoughts, guys. It was gifted to me, so I was definitely happy to get it, happy to add it to the collection and play it a few times. But would I go out and recommend this one? No, I can't say that I would. It's a neat little game. If maybe you want to do it as a stocking stuffer or something like that, okay. Otherwise, there's probably better 2-player card drafting type games out there that offer a little bit more. So those are my thoughts, guys. If you've played Caper, you I guess want to refute anything that I've covered here, please leave it down in the comments. Happy to see how you like the game and things like that. If you happen upon this video and you've enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a subscribe. Like the video if you like the video. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for the support. Until next time, thanks for watching.